Hello and thanks for checking out ChartGuys.com. We're proud to be one of the most successful technical analysis communities online, teaching you the skills to become a more confident, effective, and informed trader. Join our community of hundreds of analysts worldwide working together to learn the charts, generate profit, and achieve financial independence. For access to daily live chart analysis and market coverage, a thriving chat community, along with dozens of hours of exclusive educational materials. We look forward to seeing you. Let's check out some charts. Checking in on the market, so we got what looks like our daily lower high, but it was a fairly frustrating day for me because I couldn't find a spot to grab it. So we knew to be looking for the daily lower high. It was a bit of a choppy day on the 5-minute time frame. We had a bullish reaction first thing this morning, which is great. Bulls do their thing. We broke the high of pre-market. We broke the high of Friday. No biggie. That just tells me to be patient. Wait for the sign of weakness. We got a news reaction dump, and crypto traders are very familiar with this pattern. They call it a Bart pattern because this is Bart Simpson's spiky hair, and I feel very bad for people that started trading in that crypto environment where this was just happening all the time in both directions, and they thought that's just what trading was. Fortunately, in the normal markets, we don't see this that often, but the bottom line is it was very hard to grab a bearish position with all this going on for me personally, as far as determining a very nice risk to reward scenario. I took 3 trades today. I ended up break even, and I'm looking to start tomorrow with a fresh, clean slate. There was one point in time where I was this close to nailing the perfect entry, and I'll show you how just a few pennies can make all the difference on the trade, because after the bull move, this is the 2-minute time frame, and I was watching the high or low every candlestick pattern, and I said, all right, I'm going to make a bearish entry, top fish the high of the day, and look for a 2-minute pullback. Because we moved up so fast, I was looking for a solid little 2-minute pullback. So I entered bearish here when 295 broke. I entered SPXS, the leveraged infers ETF. And after a very brief pullback, I saw this looks like a bull flag. This is very healthy consolidation. This is not the magnitude of the pullback that I wanted to see. And I exited for tiny profit. And we then saw a 2-minute equilibrium, and then there is the bear break and follow through. So 2 things I could have done. Number 1, just left my stop loss above 295.26, and I potentially wouldn't have gotten stopped out from SPXS. Depends if there was maybe a penny difference or not, but with what SPY was doing, but could have left it in and just sat there for another 15, 20 minutes and just waited to get stopped out, even though it wasn't what I was looking for the trade setup. Or rather than trying to nail the top initially, wait for the loss of the 2-minute uptrend, which happened at 295.02, and then had tons of follow through. So that was a little lesson for me, and I always love when the lessons are either on break-even trades or small win trades, as opposed to a big red trade. But it was just a lesson of a little bit more patience, because had I made that better entry, I would have taken half of my profit on this initial pullback, and I probably would still be holding the other half of that position right now, looking for this daily lower high to be set. So it's a bearish reversal candlestick on the daily. The bears have to break the low of today, tomorrow, 292.77. And then the question is, can we form a daily higher low compared to 284.82? In my opinion, the answer is yes, because of how much space we have for the bulls to work with, both on SPY and on QQQ and on other individual names. The Apple bulls are pretty close to all-time highs. I think if the Apple bulls get those all-time highs, it's a confidence boost for the tech sector as a whole. We have earnings coming up. The financial sector earnings will be next week, I believe. I got to double check the dates on those, but we know they're coming up. We've got China, and the trade war is going to be in the headlines for the next week or two. And then we got the Fed FOMC at the end of the month. So all of those are some nice fundamental catalysts for the potential break of this weekly equilibrium sometime mid to the end of October. And that's what we're watching for. In my opinion, if the bulls can change the daily trend, meaning pull back, hold the low, and then see follow through, that will keep us in this weekly pattern a lot longer. And of course, if we don't change our daily trend and we head back towards our lows, I still think we'll hold the low initially, but let's say we pull back hard, see a lower high and then a lower low, I think we're going to break those August lows. So how this daily consolidation looks is going to be very key, both with volume, how much strength the bears have, and whether or not the bulls can change the daily trend. The burden of proof on this daily time frame is on the bulls to change that trend after seeing a clear lower high and lower low pattern the past couple of weeks. IWM, so pretty much that's the setup for everybody that we're going to look at. There's some differences, but for the most part, the majority of sectors and individual names are doing this. So that makes analysis easy for everybody else. We're just comparing space. How much space do the IWM bulls have to work with? Well, we've only got 2% compared to SPY. SPY can pull back more than that. Just how much more? Almost 3%. So certainly a notable difference. But we're looking if IWM breaks the low of today, 148.12, our top has been set. And then we look to see, can the bulls hold the low of 144.93? QQQ, same thing. We topped out. If we break the low of 187.91, bulls have to form a daily higher low compared to the bottom of 181.82. And as far as space, bulls have a nice 3.5% space to work with to form that higher low. XLF, top looking set, break the low today, tomorrow, have to hold the low of 26.45 and then change the trend if the bulls are going to stay in the weekly equilibrium pattern. XLV is different. It's different as far as where it's coming from on the weekly chart, but on the daily chart, lower high compared to 90.68. We were looking for lower highs on everybody. If we break the low of today, tomorrow, looking for the higher low. XBI, daily inside bar, if it breaks bearish tomorrow, we're looking for the higher low. If they don't break bearish, then the bulls are holding on and they haven't given us clear indication that the tops have been set, but obviously bear momentum was in favor at the end of the day, and odds of breaking the low today, tomorrow are higher than not, in my opinion. And the VIX, higher low is forming. So bulls trying to hold 1580 to keep this stair-step pattern alive, and it is still alive. Bulls want to break 16, make that 1850 tomorrow to say, all right, our higher low has been set, and now we're looking back up to the recent high. So most everybody in the same setup. Tomorrow's a pretty important day, and the size and the magnitude and the volume behind the consolidation will be telling as to where we go from here. Gold pulling back, looking for a daily higher low. So we got our high, low of the pullback, lower high. We're scouting for a higher low compared to 1458. Bulls have to change the 4-hour trend back in their favor for the first indication the daily higher low has been established. Silver's doing the same thing, looking for a daily higher low to form. Have to change the daily trend, just like the SPY bulls and everybody else we looked at. Bulls have to change the daily trend to shift that momentum back in their favor on the precious metals. Oil, we're just looking for a daily lower high. Big upper wick today. Have we lost the 4-hour uptrend? The answer is not yet. We had a 4-hour support here of 52.58, and we bounced today off of 52.61. So that support level held. If we lose that support level, top is set, and the bulls have to hold the low of 50.97. Same thing, have to change the daily trend. It's very interesting that everybody's doing the same thing. Individual stocks, sectors, precious metals, oil, natural gas. Daily lower high looking to be set. Break the low of today, tomorrow. It has been set, and we're right back looking at the low of 219.9. So, pretty clear as far as what we're watching for. And the question is, can we change the daily trend for the bulls on any of these names, or are we just going to drop to lower lows? Tomorrow will be very telling, and we'll check in tomorrow and see where our probability needle falls. For me, right now, the probability needle is that it is more probable that higher lows are going to form on names like SPY and QQQ that have a solid amount of space to work with. And if we look at names like natural gas and oil, it's different. I'm not treating them the same as the equities. So I appreciate you watching. Do good things out there, and we'll check back in tomorrow. Have a good rest of your night. Wrap it up here with some more videos from my trip to the Northeast. This is the Lost River little boardwalk cave area hike. I went here over 20 years ago when I was a little kid growing up, and the coolest part about it is watching how these trees' roots and how their trunk structures are growing intermingled with these jagged rocks that are dropped down by a glacier, and how the water has cut through those rocks. But just these rocks that will, you'll have 20-foot roots climbing over rocks and then reaching down into soil, and you'll have trees that are just going sideways before they stretch up and reach for the sun. So some pretty cool nature doing its thing. Thanks again. Do good things out there and protect those bullish positions.